Missy Franklin. I mean, not only in the United States, but on the world stage, she is an absolute superstar. But this is such a close-knit sport that she's right there rubbing shoulders with a lot of the other athletes as we now see that. Speaking of which, the athletes coming out for the most challenging event in all of swimming, the 400-meter individual medley. Kelly Hitanaka will be in lane 2, Elizabeth Bailey in 3, Regan Barney. Big story in this particular event is the Olympic trials qualifying time of 4:54.99. Only 2 of the swimmers in this field, Regan Barney, who will be swimming unattached in lane 4, and Maddie Myers in lane number 5, had made the qualifying time. So for local favorite Danielle Delatorre in lane 6 and Diana Dunn, along with a couple of the aforementioned athletes, they'll be trying to break that barrier once again of 4:54.99 to qualify for the Olympic trials, which are coming up in just 22 days' time in Omaha, Nebraska.
Take your mark. Stand, please.
Sounds like we're having a little technical difficulty with the starting mechanism. Swimmers up off their blocks. We'll just have an extra moment while we have that. I mentioned that this was such a grueling event. Do you swim this very often if you had a choice?
Oh, fortunately I did. I mean, I grew up swimming the longer stuff, and this race right here really taught you how to swim a race. You couldn't take it out too fast. It was something you had to be able to manage. You're switching your strokes every 100, and to be able to keep that up for 4.5 minutes, it's a shift in muscles. You're using different muscle groups every time you're switching strokes. It's a unique event unto itself, and it's one of the most difficult to train for. And to do it, you have to put yourself in a really uncomfortable situation.
In what way uncomfortable?
You're training butterfly, and then you have to transition to the backstroke right away, and you're using those different muscle groups. It's different than training for a 400 freestyle. It's different than training for a longer butterfly event, anything like that. By the end of the race, every part of your body is typically pretty tired. And
so you agree that it's the most challenging, the most demanding event in swimming?
I think it's up there. I think, aside from maybe the 200 freestyle, for its own reasons, I think this is probably one of the most, at the same time, there's something really pretty about it because it's so dynamic. There's so much involved. It requires somebody who's good at every single stroke. It's kind of like the decathlon of our sport.
Finishing the 100-meter butterfly, Elizabeth Bailey swimming in lane number 3, currently with the lead, followed by Regan Barney in lane number 4 and Diana Dunn in lane number 7, currently in 3rd. Butterfly backstroke, breaststroke, and then closing with 100 meters freestyle. Regan Barney making a move on the backstroke, and this will obviously, this is your specialty, was the backstroke, where you're still a world record holder at 200 meters, but clearly this is a strength for Barney.
And this is where you start to really settle into this race. So butterfly and backstroke, you'll see people typically being able, who can do butterfly, they can do backstroke. Those swimmers can also do freestyle pretty well. So you see those in lanes 4 and 5. Barney and Maddie Myers are very good in the front half. The part that makes the difference in an individual medley so often is the leg that's about to come up. That breaststroke leg is the X factor. And that can come from anyone in the group. So much time can be made up. Maddie Myers right now, though, looking Regan Barney looking very good right now in lane 4 and is going to touch first at 200.
So Barney in first, followed by Elizabeth Bailey, Maddie Myers in lane number 5, Danielle Delatorre in lane number 6, Diana Dunn in 7, Kelly Hitanaka in lane number 2. Well, now we'll watch the very challenging and all-important 100 meters breaststroke. And as you mentioned, a lot of ground can be made or a lot of ground can be lost in this particular 100 meters.
That's right. And you can see in lane 5, Maddie Myers is already starting to make that push from lane 5. And that right there, she's got a full 100 to do this. This is also the longest leg of the individual medley.
In terms of time.
In terms of time. And so she has that much more time to be able to make it up. This stroke right here, especially in an individual medley, requires so much patience. And you're really trying to spend as much time gliding as you possibly can, sticking out front, being in that more streamlined position, and just trying to maintain, understanding you still have 100 freestyle to go.
Barney
Regan Barney
now
right
with
now still looks really strong.
2.5 second lead over Elizabeth Bailey, followed once again by Maddie Myers.
Elizabeth Bailey still looks really good too. She's holding really strong. You see her hugging the lane line right next to lane 4, right next to Barney, and she's keeping an eye on it. She understands she wants to stay close to the free.
And should point out once again, we're told Elizabeth Bailey has not yet made the Olympic trials qualifying time of 4:54.99. So keep an eye on the clock as well as the results. Does she want a good result? Certainly, but she wants to swim a time fast enough to get into the Olympic trials coming up in Omaha. Turning for home, about 85 meters to go, and on the freestyle now.
Regan Barney is definitely taking control of this race from the very beginning. Right now, it's definitely a race for second between Maddie Myers and Elizabeth Bailey. But you also see in lane 6, Danielle Delatorre, who looks really strong coming out outside of Maddie Myers, and it's a race for second right now between the woman in the middle of the pool.
A really good battle right now. Bailey again's got to make that time. Maddie Myers has qualified. Danielle Delatorre has not. And they're racing right now, and that might help push through and get them to a faster time. But a really good swim by Regan Barney, especially after she turned to the backstroke leg. She's been right there. Elizabeth Bailey currently in second, followed by Maddie Myers in third, and Danielle Delatorre falling off just a little bit in lane 6. So Barney's going to be the winner as she gets it for home now with about 8 meters left to swim. And it's going to be Elizabeth Bailey finishing in second. Looking at the time, and she's not going to get it. Bailey is not going to get the Olympic qualifying time. Regan Barney is the winner in 3:52.32. Elizabeth Bailey at 3:55.82 was second. Once again, the qualifying time was 3:54.99, so only missed it by about 9/10 of a second.
Regan Barney took control of that race from the very beginning. She split it really well. Even her breaststroke was really powerful. And this turn going at the halfway mark going into the breaststroke, showing just how far ahead Regan Barney was at the halfway point, but was able to maintain that and had a very good breaststroke getting off into the second half of the race. Elizabeth Bailey, though, never really let it go. And you see this first turn of the breaststroke right here. The most critical part, I think, of the 400 individual medley is this stroke, simply because of how dynamic it is. You're either good at it, or it's something you just put up with. You struggle through it. Man, there's something so wonderful about being able to get through 100 breaststroke in a 400 individual medley and having your place not change for the worse.
An incredibly challenging race as we kick things off. The men's 400IM still to come, but Regan Barney, the winner at 4:52.32, and she's standing by on the deck with Jane.
Regan, you already qualified for the Olympic trials heading into this event, but how did you like your time here today?
It was okay. I really just wanted to swim it and try another race strategy. I'm trying to work on like the back half of my race a little bit more, so that was like my main goal going into it, and I think I accomplished it pretty well, so I'm pretty happy with it.
And front half, you looked really strong as well.
Thank you. Yeah, that's usually like my strong point. I'm a backstroker, so I usually try to get out in the front, so trying to work on my back half a little bit more.
Congratulations on winning the event. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
So congratulations to the winner, Regan Barney. There is always room for improvement, it seems, on the breaststroke.